This is the Reel to Reel show with Peter Adams, aka Hey Pan Eagle Song, Professor Cat Fun, Jesus, Iron Signs, whatever. And I'm with Ronald Gust, another California genus, original, maybe not, but
Yep,
certainly
original.
can take credit for it. Yep. And the Reel to Reel show, December 16, 2021. There have been 3 days of storms and 100-mile-an-hour winds in the areas of the U.S. Midwest to California's West Coast and the Rocky Mountain states to Illinois and Seattle to Chicago and Texas. Wow. Logically or not, the states of American, U.S. Oil, Exxon, and food production mine insomnia and Mercic exoneration conglomerates, all seemingly attacked or being attacked by the we are there weather and the greenhouse meteorological Armageddon. That's a mouthful.
Yeah.
It's part of this 2021 galactic year, which is about to end December 18th, and including the lockdowns in Germany, England, and China, as well as Russia and America during December, Christmas, and most of the year. Yes, we have to include Africa and Australia and Europe, of course, India, and the entire COVIDity alienation experiment ongoing. It's almost the Earth rock apocalypse, presenting the end of the world as we know it, and the Genesis, Exodus, and this Nostradamus, I'll call it prediction cycle, that is seemingly on head, something like a mini end of the world as we know it. It's pretty serious, folks. Nonetheless, this is a reel-to-reel performance where we're really talking about what's real and what is manufactured reality, or the reeling in of Americans and world populations via whatever media generation or otherwise broadcasting the scandal, plastic fantastic, American idiocracy that we see ongoing. So, we're here to share the 3 movies that are part of dramatizations about how life reflects life. I don't remember the phrasing of that. Life imitating art is one of them. In this sense, we're discussing how the actors' lives reflect or expose their simulator effect experience. And that is that the reel-to-reel movie relations to our actual experience of the true reality life is, thus being presented or demonstrated by the sharing of the new UU presentation. Okay, we've got 3 movies that were clinical productions demonstrating this manipulation and the alienation Terminator invasion and the Aquarian conspiracy of the past century and further, of course, but in the present moment, seemingly a reality of our experience. mostly being created in the movies and the media as a demonstration of the evolution, or that is the evil intention of the controllers, the Dark Lord promoters, and the reptilian directed conduction into this reality from mostly, I'd say, the fourth dimensional area. That is the projection of a certain hypnographic or holographic conduction of forces and light and sound, and also we'll be adding the mental hypnosis or illusion that seemingly has the grip on most of humanity, and further, actually, into the alien reptilian environment and conditioning group, that is their own group conditioning themselves, oddly enough. And the whole thing is rather odd, to tell you the truth. Okay, that's a mouthful. Ronald, any comments on any of that being shared there? Thumbs up?
Well, I hear what you're saying. I'm sort of familiar with a lot of this stuff that you're talking about. The problem is how to keep your head above water and deal with it. And I don't know how, other than just sit back and riding a wave. That's the only way I can figure to do it.
That's brilliant. I can't hear you, but I know what you said was brilliant, and I appreciate it very much. You can hear what I'm going to say about these movies.
I can hear everything.
I'll start reading, and we're going to make sure that everybody else can read lips, so they'll be able to watch the show.
This is going to be weird.
It's being recorded, which I hope it is. And with that in mind, here we go with this reading. The Reel to Reel Show, December 16, live Zoom broadcast. The three movies we're doing today are The Bombshell with Charlize Theron, The Good American, and The Dark Waters starring Mark Ruffalo. These are movies demonstrating how Hollywood and Disney are key players in the alienation, Terminator invasion, and the Aquarian conspiracy, ongoing in this current century and previously. These movies were emphatic productions, eclectic in certain ways, and of course, merely presentations of the true reality going on in this time. Dark Waters is a dramatization by Robert Bilott's case against the chemical manufacturing corporation DuPont after they contaminated an entire town with unregulated chemicals. Not only that, the products that they produced, which are Teflon cookware, were being used for at least 30 years after they knew that it was destructive to the natural human health and embodiment. Mark Ruffalo plays the lawyer who takes us into DuPont's operation and for the benefit, that is, his lawyering for the benefit of the victims in upstate New York, not unlike the Buffalo nuclear spill scandal. Not quite remembering the name of that one at the moment. That occurred during the 60s. It's very famous. green something movie. I can't remember the title. Ruffalo himself has an interest in making movies of political activism on humanitarian, environmental, and mental health issues, which is highly admirable, hugely admirable. According to the article I read by News35Post.com on the tragedy of Mark Ruffalo, just keeps getting sadder. He's had a number of experiences, such as in 2001, diagnosed with acoustic neuroma. The removal process of the benign tumor left Ruffalo paralyzed on one side of his face and deaf in one ear. In 2014, he discussed on CBS his detailed struggles against, it is about his major depressive episodes throughout his adolescence and in his lifetime. He's very timid about his acting, but eventually worked through that, even though he also almost quit acting in 1994 when he lost his best friend to suicide. And later, his brother was murdered in 2001. Ruffalo said, "It will always be the greatest mystery of my life, or the great mystery of my life." The actor said about not knowing who killed his brother, "I make peace with every mystery in my life. You just live alongside it." That movie, made about 2 years ago now, The Dark Waters was reporting on the DuPont conspiracy to produce chemically harmful products since the 1960s, 60 years ago, and first came out as an idea for a production around 1998, 1999. And later was made or operated into beginning its process as a movie around 2010, 2011. All of these interesting dates because we're talking about 9/11, 2001. 2010 was supposedly, in some terms, the end of the world as we know it, at least, and related to the computer takeover. That had something to do with 2000 and that turnover of events where everyone was expecting this end of the world kind of episode. And then again repeated in 2012, I believe, with a movie that was also put out with a similar theme with John Cusack. I don't remember. I think it was called 2012. And there's all these coordinated coincidentals with the movie industry and these actual events and actual prophetic dating history, something of which I myself have some experience with, being the world's only universal galactician who has an awareness of his own namesakes that are related. I'll use specifically, my last name is Adams, and Nostradamus, or Nostradamus, is very similar, 400-year ago prophet of the famous Nostradamus poetic stanzas predicting the future of the world, including the Armageddon events that are some people interpret as occurring today. It's something else. Any comments on this Good American or the end of the world prophecy theme? Either one?
Yeah, it seems to be a recurring all through history, we've had these events that they keep saying it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's just more problems stacked on top of more problems, and we just have to work through them. This world has been around, I think, for at least 4 billion years, and I don't think it's going to change in our lifetime. Although there's been some probably close calls. I think that I remember the movie that you're referring to, and I can't remember who the actors or actresses were. I thought it was a pretty interesting movie. As for the weather and all of that, I don't think that's going to change a bit. I think that's just normal weather. I'm having a problem with them keep thinking that everything that's happening is end of the world stuff. It looks pretty normal to me. So I'm a little bit confused about all of this stuff that these papers are putting on. And they're always having problems of murders and street crime and all the other things that keep going on. That to me, it's just normal everyday life. Well, back to you.
Officials describe as less intrusive than Trailblazer, which was lacking the privacy safeguards built into Thin Thread. According to Binney, not only was Trailblazer unnecessarily intrusive, it was less effective. The documentary contends that the Thin Thread system would have prevented the September 11 attacks, and that a post-attack evaluation confirms this. In September 2002, Binney and 2 other NSA whistleblowers, J. Kirk Wiebe and Edward Loomis, asked the U.S. Defense Department Inspector General to investigate the NASA for allegedly wasting millions and millions of dollars on the Trailblazer project, which analyzed intercepted data covertly obtained from communications networks. Loomis and Binney had been the inventors of Thin Thread, a far less expensive alternative system that has shelved in favor of Trailblazer. The Nation, news service magazine, reported that despite Thin Thread's proven capacity to collect actionable intelligence, Agency Director General Michael Hayden vetoed the idea of deploying the system in August 2001, just 3 weeks before 9/11. Hayden's decisions, the whistleblower told the Nation, left the NSA without a system to analyze the trillions of bits of foreign SIGINT, that's SIGINT, or SIGINT, flowing over the internet at warp speed as Thin Thread could do. That is, follow the trillions of bits of data and organize them in order to ensure that the nation or the individuals may be directed to protecting and taking action against the 9/11 plane threats and terrorism attack. Period. 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 Because if you're not pissed off now, I don't know what would get a person pissed off. And that is all I can really say about it. That is the direction of that particular movie. The 3 forms of conspiracy, I would say, have to do with the media and the executive corporate controllers, the American or governmental issuance of control domination, yes, and promotion of their own agenda programs.
Yes.
And the third, having to do with the corporate production of products and yes, the stock banking
yes,
money madness organizations, which are existing with the same general propaganda of development and support structure, which is, of course, for these companies or governments, by these companies or governments, not the people, not the people.
That's right. Not the people.
That's it. Okay. What did you think about that, Mark Ruffalo? Or rather, The Good American. A Good American, it's called.
I think I seen it some time ago. It was I think it had to do with pollution, and it brought out a lot of little secrets. And I thought it was an informative movie, but I don't know if it went anywhere. As for the 9/11, I agree with you on 9/11. It was an inside job. I still contend that the Port Authority, New York Port Authority, the building was rotting from the inside out because of the insulation they were using. And the insulation was getting salt water into it, and salt water is very corrosive on steel. And the steels were depleting in thickness. It was rusting away. And so they decided that the building had to be taken down. And the problem is that it would cost the port authorities $2 billion to clean the asbestos up. So they decided to blow it up instead. And it's this was a big conspiracy. It contained a lot of people, a lot of different corporations. There was a lot of people involved in this, and the Bush administration was up to the ears. They were looking for a way, I think, to invade Iraq. And of course, Cheney, back in '94, decided that he wanted to go into Afghanistan. He just needed a Pearl Harbor event. So they used this event, and it's the greatest conspiracy and bank robbery that I've ever seen. The vault, underground vault, was when they found it, the doors were wide open and it was stripped of any wealth. There's an underground road there, and they used that to strip all the valuables from that from that thing. This thing is well planned, well executed, and I don't know if 3,000 people died in that or not. I don't know if that's true or not. Only time will tell.
Okay. Ronald, I want to say something. First of all, I consider your name, you're really the special Gust. And I get it. I get it because we're getting it with our real awareness, even if I'm not hearing you. And it's interesting because this relates to our promotion of this reel-to-reel, the new you, the true reality life is, our understanding of it. And this is going out to the universe, even though we can't even hear ourselves talk. It's the same thing. It's being heard, it's being known, it's being recognized, it's being realized, it's being true. And there isn't anything really more than that, real awareness. If the people became or had the essence of this real awareness within themselves that they would be recognizing, their recognition immediately puts them into that whole universal, we'll say, perspective. And they would acknowledge that the real new age is here now.
Yes.
It's always been here. And that's simple. then to start to be or act in accord or to do and see as we are seeing or as we are aware, knowingly. I had some experience with this with the removal of garbage of 2 households and a clearing out of a storage building, etc., that we had next door and were using, and also a neighboring family member borrowing or using the trailer to, and I took it down to the dump. So I failed in a number of ways in this activity, but at the same time, yes, we did clear out our own garbage and had things which could be burned, which maybe shouldn't have been put in the landfill, maybe shouldn't have been burned. We maybe shouldn't have had them at all. Nonetheless, under these operation, I was clearing out and cleaning up mostly in the best way I could. Take the paper and the boxes into the recycling. Did not do near as much, hardly any of it that I should have. But I know that the recycling center and the garbage at the garbage dump is hardly recycling anything. This is the reality. I kept a lot of these items. This is 10 to 18 years of garbage pile up. And I did not want to take it to the dump. And kept a lot of the items instead of taking them for recycling. I did, of course, recycle during the whole period, but I found out a little more recently that they are really not hardly recycling anything. If it has labels, even if it's a recyclable material, they won't recycle it. And so this is probably occurring nationwide. I think it's part of the reason why these the weather, climate increase, carbon gas challenges, good or bad, because not all the carbon gas is bad. And it's maybe a 50-50 on how much should be recycled or not, or regenerated into power plants, etc. I'm not fully aware on that, but I guess I'm going to open that up here, Ronald, to yourself. And you know about the green spill up in Buffalo in the 60s? I forgot the name of it. Give me a thumbs up if you do. Do you remember that or know about that? As a nuclear waste
I don't remember it.
And they poisoned the whole area, all around the plant, the whole town, the water supply, etc. And this green something is the name of it. I'm not pulling it up. Anyway, and then the Ruffalo one is in a similar area town in upstate New York, I believe. The Mark Dark Waters movie.
Well, I think
the DuPont.
I think I remember that one.
Any comments on any of that whole recycling? Environmental spillover.
The first one I don't remember, but the second one I think I remember. I believe that was the movie that I saw, that somebody had got lost family, I think, because of it. But that's been so long. It's been so long. Well, this is just these spellings are continuous anyway. It's what gets me is that the pollution is actually caused by the billionaires who's making the money off all this stuff that can't be recycled. And I think another reason why you're having problems recycling, I don't think China's taking any more of the recyclables. That may be what's going on. And there's no place for them to put them other than in the landfill. My contention is that they should all go back to the manufacturer that made it in the first place and let them dispose of it. That should have been what they should have been doing a long time ago, instead of letting the billionaires keep making their money and polluting everything.
Very good, though. This discussion, do you think so as well? Very, very
Yeah.
good. What can we say? We're almost at the end of the hour. I was going to add the movie Bombshell with Charlize Theron and a number of many, many famous actors. It concerns the development of the media, executive privilege, sexual abuse, scandals, abuse of control and domination over women and employees, the relation of famous Hollywood individuals, producers and directors, Woody Allen, Harvey Weinstein, Roman Polanski, Rupert Murdocher. That's what I call him. And I call the Goggly, Mersick, Man Insanity, Bozos, Bellgate, media domination program currently in place and very active, increasing its activity as we speak. They might as well be thieves of the universe, although getting into legal positions does no good for the most part, because they want you to go into a directed individual media attack after the fact in order to use up your resources, or the banking, lawyer, private individual company resources, so that we don't have any other avenues of direct intervention. And that is the case. We're marginalized to the extreme and maximized to the excess of our ability to be able to promote or to redirect and regenerate the entire human system, in fact, into some totally real or new avenue. I have this experience myself with my astrological, I'll say, work, which is actually not astrological in the old lording as above so below ideals of the metaphysicians, and has nothing to do very much, if at all, with any of the planetary or the solar system references which are used in that field. I've directed this towards a higher revelation in what I call the New Ages of Solaris. It's just a term for the real position that's really on right in this moment. It has nothing to do with time and space in terms of the past or the future. Not really. It's only that we are in this grid matrix of creation that we are using these references. Nonetheless, there is a positive effect or a goodwill hunting going on relating to the Robin Williams movie, and how they used art and famous works of authorization writers to promote and give these ideas of true love or recognition of life in the social cultural mediums of the writers have available to them. So that's something we do with this film, Reel to Reel Show. And I'm thinking we've done a pretty darn good job today of presenting that. So this can be shared, and we will share it one form or another. I'm actually not in San Francisco myself, and actually Ronald, even though our special Gust is here with us from California as well, he's not really there either. He's just where he is in the real universes, on the real side, just as all of us are. Welcome to the true reality life is. Thank you very much. Hey, 5 thumbs up. Going to give the great hand of the true reality. And jokingly, we think we're right outside where we are in our seat on the screen, but it's very hard to get that when we're looking at ourselves on the screen and go, oh, you got to put your hand back here so you can see the 5 fingers. Or the 1 finger, but I don't mean that. Actually, we need to get the fire finger in there because we're trying to create this real fire of awareness, or at least to present it. And c'est la vie into the true reality.
Yeah.
And may the blessings be with the 3 fingers of the Spock. But I don't mean the blessings be. What does Spock say? It's not thy will be done either. But there's 3 of those. And the Spock one, live long and prosper. Thanks, Ronald. Stopping the recording. Good day.